Hello, baseball fans. Welcome to another episode of 6 Inning Stretch with Merrifield and Lindsay Dunn. And Whit, shout out to you. We are starting off this episode hot because you got us an explicit warning label on the last episode, dropping some F-bombs and other words. And also shout out to your agent who finally followed us on social media. Yeah, calling him out. About time.
Joe, where you been?
Missing out on the party. But anyone, follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and I promise Whit won't be constantly dropping F-bombs, but maybe he will be if that's what you want.
Not always. No. Just when the time is right. I try to keep my swearing to a minimum. I don't like to swear, but sometimes it comes out.
But one thing a lot of people are learning about you through this podcast is, well, one, you're like kind of funny. You're kind of a nice guy. But one of my favorite moments that happened so far is I didn't know you were such like a pop culture wizard. You actually broke the news to me about Katy Perry hanging out with former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
You didn't know about that.
Look at you, big time TMZ over here.
Yeah, how about that? I'm not going to comment on that just because we're not ready to get political on this show yet. Maybe one day, but not right now.
No, what I can switch it to is that one of my favorite moments actually happened at the ballpark when we'll have comparisons of other things. Like, I think, recently you told me I reminded you of the girl from Pitch Perfect, the tiny Asian character that really doesn't talk and was quiet. Is that the right one?
That's what I have to deal with all the time.
Oh my gosh. If you were me, I just saw you. This mic froze because, you were such a jerk. If you were listening, please go watch what he just did. Wow.
You have to turn the volume on her mic all the way up just so you guys can hear. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. This makes me so happy then to tell you, someone told me that you remind them of an adult Bart Simpson, especially when you have your hair cut because you're such a little shit. And I can't unsee it.
Well, the little shit part is pretty spot on. And I don't know why. I just can't help it. I'm just I'm the oldest of two siblings, and I have that big brother. Like, I don't know. I just have to pick on people. That's how I show my love. So if I ever met you and we became friends and I didn't pick on you, I'm sorry. I didn't like you. So, but if I did and you thought I was an asshole, I really was just showing you love. That's just how I do it, and I don't know why. It's just who I am. I'm sorry.
Oh,
my wife, God bless her. We've been together for like 20 years, and somehow she stuck around.
I know in the last episode you called her a loser, and but that was just basically saying how much you were fair. Right. Oh my gosh, Whit. Anyways, good transition to this. That this segment is brought to you by our friends at Greta Bar. Not only a great spot to watch the game or to play in the arcade with great street food. My favorite game of all time is Mario Kart, but also Second Runners, Mortal Kombat. 2 games I know I absolutely could beat Whit at. And aside from the games, it's also a great spot for upcoming team building or corporate functions. If you need somewhere to bring your teams together for a good time, check out Greta. For more info, go to gretabar.com at 590 King Street West. Greta Bar, let the games begin. And Whit, the Jays are on the road. Something we haven't talked about a lot was your time in AAA or whatever, the minors. But do you have any bar stories from your time there?
Well, we did. One of our favorite bars in Kansas City was an arcade bar, and I am the greatest NFL blitz player of all time, and that's not really up for debate or an opinion. It's just a stone cold fact. I have not lost in blitz since I was 7 years old. I'm just the greatest blitz player on the planet, and it just is what it is. But I mean, yeah, there are too many bar stories to share or that I can tell you, but one of I could tell you one from AAA. It wasn't that bad. It's more of a funny one. But we were in Nashville playing, and we were out. My wife was actually in town visiting with one of her best friends, and so we a bunch of us go out to Nashville because Nashville is one of the greatest cities ever. So we have a good night. Nothing crazy. Just we're all hanging out. And the end of the night comes, and my buddy who's out with us, Scott Alexander, still pitching in the big leagues, left-hander sinker, nasty sinker, was with us, and his phone died. And what we didn't know was we were leaving, and he told us, "Hey guys, I gotta go pee. I'll be right back. Hold the Uber for me." We did not hold the Uber for him because we did not hear him say that. He was probably talking in your tone of voice, Lindsay. That's probably why we didn't hear him. But so we get in the Uber, take off. There's like 2 Ubers, so we just figure like Scott's not with us, so we figure he's in the other one. The other Uber doesn't have Scott, so they figure that he's in our Uber. He walks out of the bathroom, the lights turn on, people are mopping, and he's kind of looking around like, oh, his phone's dead, and he's got no cash on him. He's only got his credit card. And this was, back in Nashville, there's not really like a cab scene like there is in New York, and he doesn't have a phone, so we can't call an Uber. He has a phone, but it's dead, so nobody's got a charger. He's probably not in the right state of mind to like try really figure out the situation of how I can get home. Our hotel is about 3 miles away, 3.5 miles away, I think it was. And I don't know, this is probably 2, 3 in the morning because the lights are turning on in the bar. So his solution is, I gotta hoof it. So he does. He hoofs it all the way from the bar back to the hotel. He said it takes him about 3 to 4 hours. He said at one point he just started jogging. He stopped at Kroger's, which was open 24 hours. He got a rotisserie chicken. Stopped at the park bench. Started eating the rotisserie chicken as the sun came up. He said it turned out to be like one of the most peaceful, like beautiful ends of a night that he's ever had. And all because we all left him. So Scotty, guy, I wish you guys knew Scotty like we knew Scotty, because it makes the story that much better, just the kind of personality he is. But that's one of my favorite bar stories that I'm willing to share. I already threw one guy under the bus because you people are detectives. I'm not going to throw anybody else under the bus.
The rotisserie chicken is sending me right now, but it is time for extra innings. There was a moment that happened over the weekend, and I know in this podcast before we spoke about you taking part in the London Stadium Series, where it was in a football/soccer stadium, but some videos we have to go through that happened in MLB where they set an attendance record for the Speedway. Oh my gosh, Game. I don't know how much of this you followed on social media, but it was interesting. First of all, it was just raining so heavily that the game actually had to get delayed. And like, if you're watching right now, like that was, I thought they would have called that so much earlier. It's just wild. Oh yeah. And then another thing is just wherever you were sitting, it's at the point where, the tarp monster came out, which I never get to say because obviously you got the retractable roof in Toronto. So I was kind of happy to see it. But for the, more than 85,000 fans, a lot of them described this as a terrible experience, like the Friar Fest with like the food. Parking was upwards of $350.
Oh my God.
Watching and kind of hearing this as like from the athlete's perspective, but then also just as a human being, what do you think about all that?
I always wonder when the weather is like that, or it's like 20 degrees, that when I'm watching a game, like a football game, or I'm playing in a baseball game where it's like blowing, the wind chills like in the teens, it's like misting. And I look around, and shout out to you people that are in the stands, but I'm like, why the hell is anybody here? Like, what are you doing? So yeah, I mean that's just miserable to. Cause I mean that's like it's not like a regular, Tuesday night game in July. That's a kind of a hyped event. It's going to be the most viewed, at least was the most attended baseball game in history. And then you can't control weather, so that stinks. But to hear that, like the parking was bad, the concessions were bad, all that kind of threw people, kind of turned people's nose up. That stinks. And hopefully baseball can, the commissioner's office can hear these complaints and make sure to not let that happen again in the future. Because I think things like this are cool. I think they're important for our game. We did it at the soccer stadium, and I don't think there was too much backlash like this NASCAR one had. But I mean, you kind of look at what Banana Ball's doing. They're going into football stadiums and doing selling out football stadiums. So I think baseball, MLB is getting a little jealous of that and trying to, make their footprint around the country, around the world. I do think they're cool events. I think they need to learn from what went wrong. You can't control the weather, but besides that, what went wrong and fix it. So that way next time it's a much more enjoyable experience. If you were there, I'm sorry. It sucked. It should have been cool, but I'm sorry it wasn't.
Wow, you just sounded so Canadian, apologizing for something you had no part of, but something you had a part of is this next video, which actually brought me great joy how this all rolled out. On the weekend, you told me to go check out a video.
I did.
All of this was just way too much fun for me.
Oh, yeah. My man.
This year's Deb the Sports Guy on TikTok, and he did a video where it shows, like, this is players' reactions around the league of what it was like for Whit Merrifield to retire.
Just an absolute bio page for that last screen, and then, he stole my outfit. I will say that. That was what I was wearing a couple of days ago, and took it right out of my closet. I thought this popped up on my little TikTok algorithm. Thought I was like super special. Clicked on his page, and every single person, like in any sport that retires, he does something like this for him. So I feel less special, and yeah, I wonder what's in that Santa bag. What do you think? It's like July. I mean, I retired in. When did I announce my retirement? June. And he's got a Santa bag in his room. I wonder what could be in there. That's some early Christmas shopping.
But I love, like, you were still kind of pumped up. We were having the video, and then you looked, you're like, oh, everybody else has one. But yeah, one up on me, because I don't have one, and I'm never retiring. But one thing I love that you warned the people about this, that the Jays' winning streak was not sustainable. Teams are going to lose and win in baseball. That's just how it goes. But I saw this post on social media. Well, actually didn't. Somebody forwarded it to me. Miles Straw after the game, I believe on Saturday, where David Schneider had this awesome play, and like he helped win the game. He posts this funny photo of Davis, who we both have spoke about. He's such a wonderful person, and we love his grit on the field. It's funny.
Mustache.
But I'm gonna say this bozo tweets how underneath it being like, this is a problem. This is why they're losing. They should be focusing on the game. Where
big reps in the cage.
Yeah.
Billy Two Shoes. What are we doing, guy? Look, I'm all for fans like, living and dying by, be excited if your team wins, be upset if your team loses. Like it's all great. That's what being a fan is. Baseball, it's a little harder because your team, if you have the greatest team of all time, they're going to lose 50 games. And so if you're living and dying by every game, that kind of sucks for you and your mental well-being. But cheer for your team, be upset when your team loses, but don't act like you know what you're talking about and that they're losing because they're not getting extra reps in the cage after a game in July. It's actually, it's August now. Like, I mean, come on, guy. Like, let's be a little better than that. Let's not be the keyboard warrior and start acting like we know what we're talking about on Twitter and shooting messages to guys. And this is what I'm talking about. We didn't win because you didn't get an extra 50 swings at the end of the game. I mean, that's just
you were eating
Billy Two Shoes. That's a tough take, buddy. I'm sorry. That's a tough take.
Yeah, especially after they won that game and because of Davis. Like, what a bozo. But the keyboard warriors, I, for the most part, actually do not check my notifications or anything because, like, I don't care. But when the trade deadline happened, I was pissed. I'm just trying to censor myself right now. My mother-in-law listens. Thank you for listening. There's so many like fake GMs or GM quarterbacks or whatever it is saying like, oh, this team didn't get any better, or they were celebrating people, losing their jobs. They forget that this is a job for people. And I was furious. So I just stopped. I did my job. I went to like the Atkins presser. But not only what's it like for you seeing like all these like fake GMs, but I guess the question is about the Jays. Like, was your overall thoughts maybe in general for the trade deadline?
Listen, if you're not behind the closed doors, you don't know what really goes on. You don't know what's happening with X player that you might think is a slam dunk for this team. This guy might be a piece of shit, and you don't want him in that locker room. Or this guy that you might think is the arm that we need, he might not have a good medical report, and he might be a couple outings away from blowing out. You don't know, so don't act like you know. Cheer for your team. Cheer for the guys that come on. Don't celebrate the guys that are no longer there, because that's just not a good way to go about life and treating people. But I do think that the Blue Jays did a great job with the trade deadline. Sir Anthony has some of the best stuff in the big leagues. If he can keep the ball in the strike zone, which he's doing a much better job of this year. Louis Varland is a stud. I can't believe Minnesota let this guy go. He is nasty. And he's got, I think, like 5 years of team control left. So that was a little bit of a fleece from Ross and the Blue Jays. So credit to them for that, because to me that's the biggest pickup of the deadline is Louis Varland. He's a high leverage, like, I'm gonna get this. You need a strikeout, bring this guy in, type of guy. And then Shane Bieber, who people can say is a little bit of a risky take because he hasn't pitched a lot the last couple of years, coming back from an injury. You don't know what he's going to be like. His stuff looks good so far, but even besides that, if he's not pitching at the level, or if the stuff isn't at the level it was 3-4 years ago, he's pitched really well when he hasn't had good stuff. Right, like a year before he got hurt, he was like 90, 91. His breaking ball was okay. It wasn't as good as it was, but he still had like a sub-3 ERA. So the guy knows how to pitch. The guy paints corners better than anybody in the big leagues right now. So that'll be a lot of fun to watch. And I think if he can get to the point where the Blue Jays are ready to put him in the rotation, he's going to be lights out for the team. So on the pitching side, I love what they did. And the hitting side, I love what they did. Like, you have a good team full of good chemistry, and you go out and you get a guy like Ty France, who's a proven veteran right-handed bat that can come off the bench and fill in here and there. And they did a really good job with what, from the outsider's perspective looking in, I think they did a really good job.
Well, I'm excited. I cheer for this team all the time. At the beginning of the year, I'm like, they're going to go to the World Series. So I can't help it. But I'm a professional also. And I'm so professional, I forgot to say that we have an amazing guest on our show today. So, surprise. Whit, I'll let you intro them.
Today, we are speaking to the 2010 College World Series third string catcher on the runner-up team, because they lost to the South Carolina Gamecocks, because the Gamecocks are the best. Always. We're always the best. This guy played at UCLA college. He's got parts of 7 years in the big leagues. He is not only a great catcher, but he's a great magician, and he's an awesome dude. And today we're talking to Tyler Heineman.
This show is brought to you by Simply Spiked. And you know that perfect summer feeling when the sun's out, your friends are around, and there's a ball game on? Yeah, I had one of those days not long ago. I was out of town, the Jays were on the road too, and I had a cold Simply Spiked signature peach in hand while catching the game from a buddy's deck. It was kind of the ideal summer hang. The drink, it's sweet, it's juicy with that real peach flavor, and it instantly became the most popular beverage during our hang. It's been my go-to this summer, and I gotta say, Simply Spiked nailed it. These drinks are 5% alcohol made with real fruit juice, and they're absolutely refreshing. Whether you're at the cottage, a backyard barbecue, or just soaking up the sun with your crew, they just fit the vibe. Simply Spiked Lemonade is my personal favorite. It's the OG summer classic, but I love them all, including the new Simply Spiked Limeade. So before summer slips away, squeeze in every juicy drop of it. Pick up Simply Spiked at your local liquor store for your next summer hangout. You must be legal drinking age, and remember to celebrate responsibly. Tyler, we're so happy to have you on the show today. Thank you for joining us.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You sound so excited.
I am. I'm pumped. I'm pumped up.
The best
Sorry,
thing
we had a long travel day. Long travel day to the West Coast. Getting my bearings. We're got a little jet lag, so we're getting. Got smacked in the face a couple days ago, so we're getting back to baseline. We're getting back to baseline.
Yeah, how is it just taking balls to the face all the time?
when you say it that way, not great. But it comes with the territory as a catcher for sure. So you kind of get used to it.
Catchers, man. I don't know. You guys. I get it. It's important. It's the most important position, but y'all take a freaking beating.
Yeah, well, if we could hit as good as you could, then we wouldn't be catchers. I'll tell you that.
Your numbers are way better than mine ever were this year.
This is what we're talking about, though. I'm
Come
saying
on
like
now.
I'm talking about full season, 162 games, 200 hits a year, those type of numbers. If we could do that, we'd play a different position. I'll tell you that.
You're 100 at bats in, right on your way. You're hitting what 330, a 900 OPS.
I
mean, come on
honestly
now.
I don't know, but yeah, it's been I've been a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. I'll tell you that.
Wait, you phrase that so greatly. So I'm just going to pick up on that. When you are taking so many balls to the face, just your recovery after has to be so intense. Honestly, whenever I watch you playing, like you're just constantly in a state of action, whereas like Whit would be picking dandelions in the outfield or not paying attention. What is your recovery like after? Because sometimes you guys are so bandaged up with like ice that you look like zombies.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, the recovery part is the most important thing afterwards, just so you can bounce back the next day. So we have a nutritionist. I have a protein shake in my locker right after every game that I play and drink that. So I make sure that I fuel up kind of and replace the calories. And then I kind of go in and do my arm care, tend to anything that kind of needs to be tended to. So if my groin is banged up, or if my lower back is tight from catching a game, or my arm is a little sore, kind of get that tended to, and then hit the tubs, hot tub, cold tub, and kind of get out of there and make sure I can get some good sleep. That's the most important thing for me. And as the backup, I have a lot of days to I'm kind of like a starting pitcher. I got a lot of days to recover. When I was playing every day for that little bit, it's a little harder. You do the same recovery stuff, but then you wake up the next day, you're like, well, why do I not feel as good as I have to play that day instead of getting another 2 or 3 days off.
See that, Lindsay? Catching, you get balls to the face and sore groins. That's what happens when you're a catcher.
I mean,
Wow.
yeah. Yep.
All right, we're gonna not steer this episode down that road. All right, that's the last joke on that I'm gonna make.
We'll see.
But all right, so talk about catching, Heine, because people don't, they think.
Yeah.
Actually, before we go into that, let's talk about your recovery, because you touched on that. How much has the one knee down, like, new trend philosophy helped with the way your body feels after 9 innings?
Yeah, I think it's been big, honestly. Just think about having like the hardest leg day of your life and trying to go having a bat late in the game. Like you lose your legs, and it's like almost like middle of the season, your legs are tired and everything kind of gets tired. So I think not having to be in that deep squat for that extended period of time really allows you to not have, I guess, feel like you have jello legs. I would have problems early on with some tendonitis in my knees because I was just always in that deep squat because I was a traditional guy. And then when I switched to one knee, that kind of went down. My hips got a little bit more sore, but once you start loosening that up and making everything, a little bit more limber, it really helped take the toll off the lower body significantly. So I think it really helps, and it's gonna make people's careers a little bit longer, I would think.
So besides the physical toll, you're a fan of it? You feel like you can still block as good or throw as good?
Yeah, so I think I can block better, honestly.
Okay.
But throwing was something that I had to get used to. My first year doing it full time was 23, and I remember early on that throwing the timing and the cadence, everything was a little bit weird, and that took a little bit some time to get used to. But once you kind of got that, it was basically the same thing. You just have to make sure your body's in the right position to start, and then go from there. So if your body's not in the right position, everything gets out of whack. You kind of know as a player, if your load is off, or if you're kind of not in the right position, your hands could enter the zone in a different spot than you thought they were entering, and then you could dump the barrel and just miss underneath the ball. So it's similar kind of with throwing. I feel like if all of the other pieces are in place in the correct spots, everything else kind of falls into place, and then you can make that accurate throw towards second base. So once I figured that out, and there was a lot of trial and error with that, I felt like I was able to be a lot better with that.
Nice. The whole idea is like the receiving is like how it started, right? You're supposed to be a better receiver on one knee, scooping balls off the ground from like here to here.
Yeah, thinking about it from a perspective, right? Your eyes are lower, your eyes are kind of closer to the ball and closer to your glove, and when your glove is at the bottom of the zone, or below, kind of near the ground, you can kind of wait for the ball longer, and wait for it to do whatever it's going to do. So however it's going to break, and then kind of come up through it. So you have a little bit more strength up through the ball than if you were above it and the ball has a lot of force going down. If you're above it and the ball is going downwards and you're taking it down with it, it's really difficult to kind of, I guess, stop that force and make it presentable to an umpire and make it look good. So coming up from underneath it as the ball's like basically matching the plane of the pitch, it really helps allow you, it affords you that I guess room for error. It's almost like being in the zone as a hitter. I kind of equated a lot to hitting, right? Like the longer you're in the zone, Whit, you were in the zone forever. That's why you got so many hits. Like when you're in the zone forever, you have more time, more room for error. If you're below the ball on that plane of that pitch, going up through it, you have more room for error. So you can catch it kind of deep. You can catch it a little bit further out in front, a little bit further out in front, and you still have strength to present that pitch the best that you possibly can.
Can you spearhead a revolution to just kind of stick balls again, though, versus like catching balls and moving it like 3 feet?
Yeah,
can you spearhead that for me? Because it bothers me.
Well, it's gonna bother a lot of people. I think that's gonna kind of go away once this challenge system comes in, I would think, just because hitters are so good, and I think that's coming within the next year, maybe next year or at the very least after the CBA. But hitters are so good at being able to know the strike zone, and pitchers are getting so good that if you give them 2-3 inches off the plate, it's almost impossible, right? Like these guys are just like Mizorowski has a 96 mile an hour slider or whatever, 97 mile an hour slider. Like you give that guy an inch off the plate, 2 inches off the plate, it might not sound like a lot, but to a hitter, that's now you're expanding the plate from 17 inches to 2 inches on each side to 21 inches. It's like, good luck, dude. Hitting's already hard enough. So
that's why I'm sitting
I think
at home,
you'll see that kind of
with you guys.
Yeah, you guys, I think you'll see that regress a little bit, but I think a lot of people move the ball when they're not catching it correctly, if that makes any sense. Like if you watch Kirky's one of the best in the big leagues, if not the best. Patrick Bailey is one of the best in the big leagues. Austin Wells, one of the best in the big leagues. At receiving, when you're watching a game from the camera, like center field camera, it doesn't really look like they're moving the ball that much. It looks like they're kind of sticking it. When you're seeing a catcher that's late on their timing or their timing's not great, it kind of looks like they're catching it and then moving it up, and that just doesn't look good. And they don't get as many called strikes, obviously, as Kirk, Bailey, Austin Wells, who do it really well. Like you watch Kirk, you'll see from the center field camera, it looks like he's kind of just catching the ball. But if you're looking from the side, he's definitely bringing that pitch up. And so, I mean, I love watching it. It's my job. I love catching. I love all the nuances of catching and everything. So just being on the same side as Kirky every single day and being able to watch him work, I love it. And it's awesome. But yeah, I think it's getting to a point where it's a little too much right now for sure for a lot of people.
What was it like being on the mound last year, pitching to Kirk?
Well, you don't really think about that, honestly. I mean, I feel like when you're just trying to, it's very, the plate is tiny. When you're at the plate, it looks huge. When you're on the mound, it looks tiny. So, you're kind of just trying to throw the ball over the plate and not embarrass yourself and not, throw so many balls. But I think just having Kirk back there in general is just nice. He's a great guy, but he's just a really good baseball player. So it's, you kind of get that comfort in there, in the fact that if I make a terrible pitch, like I'm not going to be that embarrassed because he's gonna stop it or keep it in front.
You can be honest when Lindsay asks a dumb question. Just tell her it was a dumb question.
I have a million dumb questions. Like, I'm going to continue to go with this. I have so many dumb questions.
That was not as sophisticated of a question as Whit's, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Whit's just going to keep asking nerdy questions. I'm going to ask what the people want to know. Like, when you were playing in Baltimore. Yes. And Sir Anthony Dominguez, you guys had the doubleheader. He obviously played for Baltimore in the first game, and then he was traded to the Jays between games, and you're catching from him. What kind of conversation, if at all, were you able to have with him?
I did not have. I played with him in 2021 in the minor leagues with Lehigh Valley. So I had some familiarity with him as a person, but his repertoire changed completely. So he started throwing a splitter more. He was more of a sinker slider guy, and now he throws four seam splits, sinkers to righties, sweepers, and an occasional curveball. So I was getting ready for the game, so I had no conversation whatsoever with him other than, hey, great to see you again. Love that you're on our team. I gotta go prepare. And so he came into the game that game, and I'm just asking Pete, hey, what do we do? What am I supposed to do here? And Pete kind of gave me a breakdown of what he likes to throw to righties, what he likes to throw to lefties, and then you kind of just game plan from there. And the first split that I caught, the first split that I saw was happened to be in a game, and like not in between innings, and so that was a little nerve wracking. But
hey, that thing's nasty too.
It is nasty. It moves a lot. It's kind of like it's like a four seam. You don't really see it spin that much, so it's pretty unique.
Game day or not, pizza's always a win, and Pizza's got something that'll make your lineup even better, like chicken tenders. My all-time favorite meal aside from pizza. Seriously, I eat pizza or chicken tenders at every game. And you can try Pizza's new chicken tenders today, made with 100% Canadian farm-raised chicken and cooked to crispy golden perfection. You can try them with dip or sauced up, whatever your style. Even better, get them with the Mix and Match Special, a large 2-topping pizza, 4 chicken tenders and dip for just $19.99. Or go solo with your own snack box, tenders, fries, and dip all in one box. And just in time for a flavor switch up, they've dropped new bowl dip flavors, including mango pineapple chili crisp and sweet and spicy bang bang. The mango pineapple chili crisp dip is hotter than you'd expect, but it is delicious and packed with flavor. Don't wait. Swing by Pizza today or order on the Pizza app or online at pizzapizza.ca. Pizza, because everyone deserves pizza. Stupid question number 3 of many to happen. Also, the game before, I believe you had a catch for Sanchez when he was at the mound, backup catcher for the Jays, and a little bit of history happened there. It was the second slowest pitch on record ever to earn a swinging strikeout at a whopping 35.3 miles per hour. Catching something like that just is at a point where like you kind of laugh. I know at that point the game is not going on. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I didn't know that. And secondly, he doesn't have a pitch comm, and we're not calling pitches. So he's throwing pitch fast, slow, whatever, kind of whatever he wants in that scenario. So, I mean, I think it's cool. This is his first time pitching ever, and he got a strikeout. I've pitched 3 times. I have 3 innings under my belt, no strikeouts. So I think it's awesome that he got a strikeout. So I was pretty pumped for him. And, especially after how hot that game was and how much we got our butts kicked, for us to have some sort of fun moment in that situation, find a little bit of joy in that situation was cool. So I think it's a cool memory for him.
People get so fascinated with the position players pitching. I think it should just be position player comes in, game's over. I don't think we should. I'm over it. I don't think it should happen anymore.
I honestly agree with you 100%. I agree with you.
The other team's giving up, just give up.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think there's got to be some sort of incentive. I don't know what it is, but I've actually talked to Scherzer about this, and there's got to be some sort of thing where a starting pitcher has to pitch a certain amount unless there's an injury. Like he has to go. He can either, if he gives up a certain amount of runs, in the first, second, or third, then you can take him out. But like other than that, you have to go at least 5 innings because it's just blowing out bullpens. And then when you blow out a bullpen, you know, that affects the next game and affects the next game. And then a position player has to pitch. And then it's just kind of a joke, right? Like, I mean, I love when I get a hit off a position player because it's really hard to hit in the big leagues. But like at the end of the day, what if there's guys that have 2, 3, 4 homers off position players? And it's like, well, did the guy really have 40 homers or did he have 36? It's like he had 40, but you know, it's a little different. So I would like to find a way to, if they could find a way to do away with getting rid of the position player pitching for sure.
God, if they mandated like an inning number for starting pitcher, that would throw so many MIT nerds into a spiral. It would be awesome.
It would be crazy. Awesome. But it's like why have a starting pitcher, right? Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like why have a starting pitcher if they're not built up to go? And I understand, right? You throw so many pitches in a certain inning, but there's got to be like cutoffs of because you get to playoff time, you know, you got a team like the Yankees that or let's just say the Padres that just got a bunch of guys. It's like all you got to do, it's a race to get to the 6th inning. You get to the 6th inning, and then it's like if you're ahead in the 6th inning, you got number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Like right, like you got Bednar, Duvall, Weaver, and then Devin Williams, right? Yep. Like, and that's not even mentioning Tim Hill, who's done incredibly well for them. That's not even mentioning, you know, or guys like us, right? You know,
yeah,
it's just
yeah. So you just spoke on Scherzer. I want to know, like, because people don't understand how much you guys prep and what all goes into like formulating a game plan, getting with the pitcher. You know, you got to know hitters, hot zones, you know, swing percentage, all this stuff. When you're prepping with a guy like Gossi starting, who's basically going to throw whatever you call, versus a guy like Bassett and Scherzer, who are basically going to call their own game. Is your day less stressful when they're pitching because you know that you're just going to be back there catching whatever they throw and hitting, or is it more stressful knowing that they're a little crazy?
Honestly, I think it's the same. I think the prep work that we do as a catcher and as a staff needs to be the same regardless of who's pitching. Because Bassett pitches or Scherzer pitches, you give your recommendation first, and then they usually change or don't change based on that, right? They give you a chance to call a pitch or two, and then if it's not one of the pitches they want, then you go. But if you're nowhere in the ballpark, it gets to be kind of annoying for them. So I think giving them full showing them that you are all in the game planning and making sure that you know your stuff is really important. That later on in the game, they might trust you on a certain call that you have, that you're seeing something that either they didn't see or, you know, whatever. You're continually building this repertoire and this trust with that pitcher that, let's just say in the 6th inning or 7th inning in a big situation, you call a pitch, he calls another one, you might call time and go out there and be like, hey, dude, I really think this is a good pitch. If you're not doing your homework, he's not gonna think twice about it. But if you're doing your homework and you've been on the same page for the most part in the game, you've been talking throughout the game, like he might trust you, and that might be the difference between, you know, a strikeout or a hit. Not saying that your call is the right call or their call is the wrong call. I think ultimately the best call is whatever the pitcher is most convicted in, no matter what. If he's not convicted in a pitch and it is the right call, I think it's worse than if he's convicted in a pitch that's the wrong call. So, but having that trust and being able to, you know, show them that you care and show them that you're doing your homework is important regardless who's on the mound.
What a professional answer. I've seen Chris Bassett shake off himself. If I was catching, you're way more professional than I am. I would just call fastball away every time and just say, Bass, you figure it out. I'm going to be back here. You tell me what you want to throw.
Bassett's funny actually sometimes, right? Like he'll call a pitch and he'll be like, no, he's like, I'm sorry, man. I pressed the wrong button. I was like, it's all good, dude. I'm I'm hearing fastball away. No, slider. Fastball in. Okay, you wanted the fastball in. You press the away button first. So he's a little bit less predictable than Scherzer is. Scherzer, you can kind of follow along with his game plan. Bass kind of will come out of left field with a pitch that you're just like, I didn't even know we throw that in that situation. We didn't talk about that in the pregame meeting. So
sweeper inside. Yeah, that's what I want.
Right?
Up and in.
Yeah, right. It's insane.
Well, my professional question out of that professional answer is when you are going for a mound visit with Scherzer, which I think I've only seen you have to do like once, how does your mindset change to when it would have been going for a mound visit maybe with Gausman?
Well, they're just different, right? They have different personalities and different things that kind of make them tick. Scherzer knows. They both know. They've both been very successful big leaguers. Gausman knows what makes him tick. Scherzer knows what makes him tick, but they have different, I guess, demeanors on the mound. So Scherzer's more of like a fired up type person. You kind of have to just. I've been out there and I literally was like, hey, dude, I'm just giving you a breather because you just backed up a couple bases. Like he's very professional and all this stuff. I give him a breather for 15 seconds and he goes, hey, all right, what do you want to do here? You want to go curveball first pitch or you want to go slider? What are you thinking? And so then we go into the conversation with somebody like Gossi, right? You have two pitches mainly, right? A fastball and a splitter, and then occasional slider that he'll throw. So you don't really need to talk about pitches when you're on the mound with him. It's more like, hey, dude, I feel like you're rushing your tempo. You're getting into your glove and going. He usually has like 3 taps. Like, take a little bit more time. I don't care if this guy steals. This is more important, this guy at the plate right here. Like, take a little bit more time. Make sure you get the grip that you need. Make sure you get the location you need and just rip that thing and get into the spot that needs to go. So they're just different. And I think every pitcher is different. So you kind of that's your job as a catcher is trying to figure out everyone's personality and go from there.
All right, we talked about pitchers enough. We don't need to talk about pitchers too much on this show, but let's talk about you, Heine. By far this year, your best offensive year to date. You've been awesome for the Blue Jays. What do you attribute this success that you've had this year to? Is it just you've been run out there more, you're getting more bats, more games, more opportunities, or was there some sort of whether it was mechanical adjustment, approach adjustment, mindset adjustment? Like what do you credit this success this year to?
I think it's a lot of things, honestly. I don't think I'm thrown out there more than I've been in the past, right? Because I played a little bit more with the Pirates in 2022. Played, like 2-3 times a week. I think it's just kind of embracing who I am. I've forever been an up and down guy and a guy in the minor leagues for my whole career. So I would always, and Whit knows me, I'm like a nervous wreck sometimes that just tries to get better and talk and all this stuff. And I really didn't embrace who I was as a baseball player. I tried to be someone that I wasn't because I was not getting the call up. And I was not sticking in the big leagues. So I was always chasing, okay, well, why am I not in the big leagues? I'm a very good defensive catcher, I feel. I don't strike out very much. I have good at bats. I can move a runner over, do all these things. Why am I not getting a big league opportunity? It must be power. It must be I don't hit the ball hard enough. It must be that I don't hit the ball far enough. So let me just try and hit for power. And that was the dumbest thing I could have ever done, right? And I've done that. I've been up and down doing that really for the past 5-6 years. It's like, oh, they want to see power. They want to see OPS. It's like, yeah, they want to see that, but at the cost of what? Like, what is me hitting the ball 3 miles an hour harder going to do? What's 104 turn into 107, like max 104 turn to 107 going to do when my average exit velo or my barrel percentage goes way down? Like, what got me? Like, Whit's a perfect example of this. Like, and I wish I would have spent more time with him in the big leagues. He just embraced who he was. He had a couple years where he had some power, but like, he literally just is a hit machine that would swing, didn't chase too much, put the ball in play on a good trajectory all the time and got hits. And yeah, he was fast, so that helped a little bit too. But like, these are things that, like, I don't think he chased. Maybe he did at times, and that was something I wasn't able to talk to him about. But like, I don't think he went away from who he thought he was and who he knew he was as a baseball player. And he knew he was good enough with what skill set he had. I never really felt like I was good enough with the skill set I had, so I was always feeling like an imposter. And I credit a lot to. It's a long-winded answer, but I credit a lot to David Popkins and Lou and Hunter, basically just saying, look, dude, like, you're not a power guy, and if you're going to hit for any power, it's going to be pull side. So like, let's adjust your approach accordingly, right? What do you do really well? You put the ball in play. You don't swing and miss very often. You'll chase a little bit, but like, you chase and you put the ball in play when you chase. So you don't strike out that often. You can move a runner over. You can do all these things. Let's embrace who you are. Embrace your role. Know that when you're coming into the game, you're in the game for your defense. And then if you get on base, that's a bonus. And if you're moving a guy over, that's your job. And I think embracing that really has kind of helped. So that's one main thing. And then the other thing would be, I really kind of leaned into the mental game of baseball, and I hired a mental performance coach. And, I think that just, it goes together with it, is like trying to embrace who I am as a player and then kind of just stay on that path and not deviate as much as I can.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing in the big leagues is knowing who you are and try not to listen to, because I feel like in the big leagues, anytime you have success, all anyone's gonna do is, instead of highlighting the success, they're gonna try to find things that you're not doing, or things that, the success, the numbers say this, but really it's because of this. You're getting too lucky, or it's not sustainable, or all sorts of stuff. So just it's good that you know who you are, and you're playing how is going to bring you success. So that's awesome, man. It's good to see, and I love a grinder. You are a grinder, and it's nice to see you have success and sustained success, because it's August 4th and you're hitting 330 with a 900 OPS. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you saying that. But there is a luck aspect to it, but I think you create your own luck in certain things, right? Like,
bingo.
Yeah, I really think you create your own luck by how you approach certain situation, and then putting the ball in play in certain situations, right? Like Bo hits the ball real hard, but he also gets quote unquote cheap hits, and I don't really think they're cheap hits. I just think they're just good hitting. He hit a good pitch that's not supposed to be hit. It's supposed to be fouled off, or it's supposed to be swung and missed at, and he just hit it, and he hit it in an area where someone's not, and that's I just think that's a good hitter. Right? He has the ability to hit the ball hard and out of the ballpark, but I just also think he's a good hitter, right? Like Whit is just a good hitter. Araya is a good hitter. Like, there's guys that are just good hitters that don't have much power. Bo has some power. I can't say you don't have power. Didn't you hit 19 in 1 year, or 21?
Come on now. I had 19, and that was at the K.
Wow.
That was at the graveyard of the K. So I mean,
Yeah,
you overlay
so,
that year in like Cincinnati or the Cubs. I hit 44 that year. So I mean,
yeah, this guy is wrong person to talk about. Arias, good hitter, doesn't strike out very much. Gives himself a chance to get a little duck fart hit every once in a while. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, that's my whole thing with the exit velocity thing is you can get your A swing off every single time, swing and miss, strike out, exit velocity high. When you strike out, your exit velocity is 0. Why would I not try to take that bastard pitch and flip it somewhere, and maybe hit a soft liner or ground ball through the hole, versus try to hit it as hard as I can and swing and miss. Now my exit velocity is 0, and I go back to the bench. I think they should change that. A strikeout should be a 0 exit velocity. They should incorporate that into your average.
But that would honestly that'd be pretty impressive, because like the guys like Arise, or the guys like that, the guy Bo, for example, right? Bo can actually, everything is data driven now, and everything is measured. So like Bo is a great example. He can actually swing the bat really fast, but his average bat speed is below league average. And why is his average bat speed below league average? I'm like, I don't understand this. It's because with 2 strikes, he shortens up, and he, instead of taking a 77 mile an hour swing and potentially swinging and missing. He goes 66 mile an hour swing to touch the ball, and the ball might not go as hard either. So his average bat speed is lower because let's just say you have a 77 mile an hour bat speed in a game, a 76 mile an hour, and the other one's a strikeout. Well, you had a 76.5 mile an hour bat speed day. That's way above big league average. Instead of that strikeout, you have 77, 76, 65. Your average bat speed goes to below league average just based on that 65. It's the same thing with average exit velo and all that, So, I think there should be some. There's no perfect science to it, but there's got to be. Like Whit said, they chalk it up to luck. They chalk it up to not sustainable, right? But there's got to be some human element to where, look, this guy's done this for X amount of years. Whit did it for 10 years. Like, he wasn't lucky for 10 years. Like, you don't get lucky for 10 years. That just doesn't happen. You get lucky for a week. You get lucky for a game, But to have sustained luck, that's a skill. It's a skill that you've had as a player. And so, I agree with you 100%.
All right, Heidi, one last topic before we let you go. Appreciate the love, by the way. I mean, we should just chop up everyone that gives me love and just put it into a montage. What do you think?
I don't, but after you ask this question, I have a couple questions. Wait.
Well, we're not going to worry about you.
You were like, it's nice talking to you. You're a player that a lot of people like. You're like this generation's like David Eckstein for me. But honestly, you had more power. I'm not saying that in that way. I'm not trying to diminish. David Eckstein was my favorite player.
David Eckstein. Let's look at the baseball.
You are way taller.
Way tall.
You're also
sneaky tall.
You're also a better player.
Yeah,
David Eckstein was. But I'm just saying, it's
okay.
like I was an undersized guy that didn't hit the ball very hard, and you don't see that very often nowadays in the big leagues. And when you do, you're like, well, if you didn't see that, it can be discouraging, right? And so I saw David Eckstein. I'm like, dude, this guy's in the big leagues doing it. Maybe I can too. Like, it gives me hope. And it's like, it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing to have players that are not, quote unquote, the most physically gifted, that hit the ball 115 miles an hour, the Aaron Judges, the Otanis, right? Like, baseball is a sport that can be played by anybody that is skilled enough to play it. And you can learn that type of skill no matter how good your physical attributes are. So, like, yeah, I mean, honestly, you deserve a lot of love. So,
David Eckstein, World Series MVP. Shout out, David.
Hell yeah. Two-time
right.
World Series champion, World Series MVP.
Love that. I actually do love that dude. I was just rolling my eyes because he's short and people think I'm short when I'm really not that short. Isn't that right, Lindsay?
You're not, actually. I am short, though.
No, he's short.
All right. So, for people that don't know, and most people do know, you are. We got to talk about this. I know you probably get tired of talking about this, but you are a really good magician. All right. I mean, you're just a really good magician.
For you.
Not like, oh, look, I got a little card trick I learned from my grandpa. No, like a legit magician. But I hadn't seen any Clubhouse magician TikTok posts lately. Are we still practicing magic? What's going on?
I have not. So since I've had 2 kids now, I haven't practiced as much. Because I feel like I have to give them attention when I'm not at the baseball field, and I feel like I want to be a good dad. So I regurgitate some old tricks and show some stuff every once in a while to guys when they want it on flights or anything like that. But it was a lot of effort. Like, I feel like what you guys do right now, right? It's a lot of effort having a podcast and doing all this stuff. It takes a lot of time. So, I'm trying to figure out a way to make sure my time is managed correctly. And I think it's something that maybe I'll get back into as I get a little bit more comfortable with kind of navigating the big league lifestyle, right? This is only my second really full year in the big leagues. And I'm on a very good team that is contending, right? And I need to be as focused as I can be, and I want to know my place and know kind of how to navigate a season in the hunt. This is the first time I've ever been in a season kind of in the hunt and been on the team. So, I don't want to do anything to take away from that. right? And or distract from that. I kind of just want to be seen, not heard, and just be kind of be there when someone needs me. So if they want me to do it, I'll do it. But yeah, I haven't learned any new stuff in a while.
You just keep turning balls into strikes.
Not trying.
Right. How about that?
Trying to learn from Kirky. Trying to learn from Kirky.
Yeah, he's
I have
he's good at that.
a couple quick questions. Some are fans, but this one is a question for me. It's just you talk about being in the hunt. You guys added Ty France, who I recently spoke to, and he says you guys played high school travel ball together, and you actually gave him a tour around Rogers Stadium. One, what kind of tour guide were you? What was something that you hyped up? But also, how do you feel that he's going to add to this team?
So yeah, Ty actually is younger than me. Everybody's younger than me. I'm old as heck. So, but Ty's younger than me. He played travel ball with my brother, but I knew him from my brother's team, and then he went to San Diego State. So, and I kind of came up through the minor leagues with him, playing against him. So he's a great guy, and he's gonna be an awesome addition. I think he really hits lefties well. I think that's gonna be a really good person to have off the bench if a lefty's coming in. Or starting against a lefty when you want to give Barger a day off, or you want to give Lukey a day off or something, and kind of mix and match, or Jimenez when Jimenez comes back from the IL, right? So I think it gives a lot of versatility with that. And then in terms of the tour guide, I mean, our clubhouse is ridiculous. It almost feels so. You feel so terrible if you lose a game and you come into that clubhouse. It's like I don't understand how, like, sorry we failed you, because our clubhouse is the Four Seasons Resort. So I showed him kind of the recovery room, the weight room, which the weight room is unbelievable. It's huge. And the sauna, cold plunge, all this stuff. So I enjoyed it. And then the family room is pretty special. It is a big family room. So him having a son, I know he's going to enjoy that. And that's the one thing he took pictures and video of for his wife. And that's what almost anyone takes pictures and video of, because it's a great thing. So yeah, he's an awesome guy. So I'm excited to have him. And I think we are too.
We talked about the umps earlier, and I can't wait for Whit to make fun of me for how stupid this question is, but it's something I want to know, and I'm not alone in this. You were there kind of when there's a full-on public freakout happening sometimes between a manager or somebody on the other team with the ump. Is it sometimes hard not to laugh when they're just full-on losing their shit?
No, because it depends. It depends. I would say in the moment, no, because you're kind of in it, and you're not really thinking about it from that perspective. But afterwards, when you're rewatching it and seeing like John Boy kind of doing some dubbed lips over it, it's kind of funny. It's like, oh, I was there, and like, yeah, he was pretty accurate on that, or no, that's not what he said. So that's kind of funny. But it's all part of the game. And I think that there's so many nuanced reasons why they do that, right? It could be to fire up your team, it could be to kind of light a fire under them, or to highlight certain things. And in the moment, no, but afterwards you can have a good chuckle. For sure, like when Schneids was tossed for arguing that home run that Schneider hit, like you're laughing, and he's sticking up for his boy, and then he goes next pitch and hits a homer. It's like you go crazy in the dugout. So it's I think that there's times where it is most certainly a boost to the team.
Schneider needs to stay away from arguing when you guys wear the red jerseys, though. The red jerseys and the red face, when he gets going and that face gets red, it's not a good combo.
No face, right? He's got no face. It goes hat to jersey.
He goes
hat
straight
to jersey,
red
and
to red.
then you see a beard.
Yeah.
It's like those t-shirts of Brian Wilson. It's like those Brian Wilson t-shirts of like the silhouette Brian Wilson beard t-shirts. Just imagine it in red.
Oh,
exactly. I should make those.
I can't unsee that. Oh, we appreciate your time. We had you way longer than we were supposed to, but the last question is going to go to a fan. We had a lot of fan submission questions for you, but kind of common theme was about your walk-up song. They want to know, why is it Stevie Nicks' Edge of 17?
I don't know, to be honest. I love Fleetwood Mac. I loved Fleetwood Mac growing up. I'm a big, Tom Petty, just that era of music I really loved. And for whatever reason, when I saw that song and listened to that song, I was like, this could be a cool walk-up song. And I started using it and I loved it. And, no other reason other than the fact that like, I just think it hypes me up and I like the beat as it drops, but yeah, no, I enjoy that song, and I've had some tempting times to try and change it, but I love it. I think I'm just gonna ride that out till I'm done playing.
Thank you for staying so long. I know this is way, way, way past than we were supposed to, so thank you for doing this.
Well, that's partly because I talk a lot, and so it's not entirely your fault.
We appreciate that. Batters up and the Buds are stepping up to the plate. Budweiser's all about making time for baseball this summer, and honestly, there's no better season for it. We're right in the middle of baseball season, and those moments with your buds, they're priceless. So savor the summer weather, crack a cold one, and cheer on your Toronto Blue Jays. Think about it. Baseball stadium snacks, your closest buds, and an ice-cold crisp Budweiser. What do they all have in common? They just go together. That's what buds do. Budweiser is the official partner of your Toronto Blue Jays, and trust us, baseball is better with your buds. And here's a little bonus for the fans. Limited edition Toronto Blue Jays Budweiser cans are now available at your local LCBO. Grab them while they last. This summer, make time for baseball and your buds. What a good guy. So many people have been asking for him to get on the podcast, but also what I have to let you know, a lot of people have been saying Brandon Belt, David Schneider, Dalton, just everybody. So just what a lovely guy.
We'll have to somehow get to Belter. I don't know what cave here or what swamp he's stuck in right now, but we'll have to do some serious excavating to go find Belter. But we'll try to get hold of Belter.
Let's give the fans what they want, and now it's time for fans on deck. A lot of submissions this week. Continue to send your questions for Whit, whether it be on X, also known as Twitter to me, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever you want. We're going to start off with, also everyone wants us to actually make this Buffalo Bills tailgate party happen. So just keep adding and tweeting and whatever at the Bills to make this happen. But the first one is from Carly, who asked the question, should Pete Rose get into the Hall of Fame?
I am on the side of, I think Pete Rose should be a Hall of Famer. He bet the gambling, he was betting for his team to win. So there was never, at least that has been reported, there's never been any proof of him throwing a game. So I mean, yeah, it's not something you should do, but if you're going to have guys that have been accused of actually cheating and taking steroids and knowing that pitches are coming due to trash cans or Apple Watches, I think that betting on your team to win should not keep you from being in the Hall of Fame. I don't think you should. I don't think anybody should ever do that. But based on what others have done and are still in the Hall of Fame, will be in the Hall of Fame, I think Pete should get the nod. I'm in that camp.
I think, and a lot of people know I cover the Raptors as well, and there was a player that actually bet against his team to lose. And I just, to this day, I think that's freaking wild. But let's go to the next one. Daniel sending this one on Instagram saying, how did the Cabanos burger come about? What restaurants did you love in Toronto?
So Toronto, man, what a cool little food city. Like, there's so much of everything. The Cabanos burger came about because I have a good agent who found a great restaurant that was willing to work with me. And when first time we met, they were just like, let's do a burger. And what do you like? I'm a huge buffalo fan. Like, you put buffalo on a shoe and I'll eat it. So I was like, do you guys have anything with buffalo? They go, yeah, we do great wings. I was like, all right, well, let's put buffalo on a burger. And they said, done. So we did it with some fried jalapeno chips and the buffalo sauce, cheese. I think that was it. and it was my mouth's watering, like literally watering right now talking about it. And so yeah, that was it. But going back to the restaurants in general in Toronto, the Butcher Chef is one of the best steaks I've ever had, and that's one of my favorite spots. It's like my geography is that of a second grader, but if you're looking at the stadium, it's like a little bit north and east, walkable, but the Butcher Chef is smacking. And next time I go back to Toronto, I will be going back to the Butcher Chef and getting a steak.
Also, shout out to Cabanos who let us they made the Whit burger, the Whit stack rather, when you came in, when we started. It's so good. And I'm not just saying that. It's not a sponsor. It was magical.
So the burger is so
next, next one is a text from Paul who said, I'm pretty sure they're trolling me because I hate mascots for the most part.
Paul, hold on.
What's your favorite?
Paul. WHITT? My name is like everywhere, guy. This will drive this. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you, Paul. This drives me nuts. This drives me nuts. I'll get, like, if I get like an Instagram message or something and someone says, hey, Whit, W-I-T or W-H-I-T-T, I'm like, right below it or right above it is my name in my profile. Drives me nuts. Paul, do better. Let's read the text. I'm mad at you already, Paul. I'm hot right now, so it's going to be a good question.
What's your favorite mascot? Any of you ever had like an interaction?
The Gamecocks. You're probably a Clemson Tiger, Paul. But the Gamecocks are the best mascot. Cocky, my man Cocky, is the best mascot.
Worst name and worst mascot, right there.
We're in such a good mood, and then you ruined it, Paul.
Yeah, well, I hate your mascot that you just named, so keep on. I'm on Team Paul for this one. Couple extras that we're just going to share. This one actually came up in the feed. It's not an actual post at us, but someone asked why you have batarangs for eyebrows and then have the Batman symbol beside it. You do have very pointy eyebrows.
You know what's funny is my wife is an esthetician, and I have crazy eyebrows just because that's how God made me. That's how I was born. But it drives her nuts, and so because of that, I won't let her touch my eyebrows because I know it drives her nuts, and that's the kind of husband I am.
Oh, you're such a gem. And then this one, we had a lot of people sending in just different photos of them getting their jerseys. And this one, they sent it in on Instagram saying they ordered your jersey the moment that you were traded to the Jays. They got it. It said, keep up the great podcast, great work. And they're a big fan of yours. So I guess this is just the love fest for Whit today.
Hey, I said that if someone proved that they had a Merrifield 1 jersey before I was good, then good for them. And I'm going to send them something cool. So I don't see a name on that.
I'll send you it.
Yeah. Rap. Send us your info and I'll mail you something.
Should have photoshopped my face on that. All right. Thank you everyone for submitting questions. You can also, like we said, submit them on social media. A lot of people have been coming up to me at the ballpark submitting questions, which we'll go over the next couple of episodes. But I do want to ask you about your golf shirt today.
Oh, yeah. This is the Riviera Country Club in LA. I wore it because we have Heineman on the show, and he's an LA guy, and so this is one of the best courses in LA. It's the Riviera Country Club. They've had PGA championships, they've had US Opens, they have a tournament there every year. It's one of the coolest places in the country. It's highly ranked every year. It's been around since like 1927, I think it was. Designed by George C. Thomas Jr., along with William P. Bell. Those are the two architects and designers. Obviously, you know who they are, Lindsay. But
totally,
it's a great golf course. Just had some serious the fires that were in California did some damage to it, but it's back up and running now, and I can't wait to get back to the Riv because it's pretty special. So shout out to the Riv, and shout out to me for getting able to play there and wear it. I got to give me a shout out at some point, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Have to shout out to you for not dropping an F-bomb today, keeping that explicit label off of our podcast. Thank you for listening to another episode of 6 Inning Stretch with Whit Merrifield and Lindsay Dunn. Thanks for watching this video. If you want more interviews, analysis, or Blue Jays news from the 6 Inning Stretch, make sure to hit the subscribe button below or watch more of our content over here.